I have Jupiter at 10 degrees Pisces, and I consider, and it's the only planet that's going retrograde in my chart as far as those personal planets up to Pluto. Jupiter is the only one going retrograde in my chart, and it's at 10 Pisces when I was born. And the Saturn Mercury Sun conjunction is right on top of my Jupiter. And I'm experiencing a very, 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 very overwhelming. It's like I don't know. I'm fine, but I think that all of humanity can say that. Well, if we consider the organism, how that as one, it's it's looking a little shaky. I mean, there's a lot of shaky parts to it. And anyway, I don't want to dwell on something like foreboding or sorrowful, but what better of a sign can we point out for doing that kind of thing? But Pisces, that's what the ocean is made of. All of the tears of sorrow going on. If it wasn't just Christ making that sacrifice, you see, it doesn't have to happen that way, but it did, maybe. I mean, it happened to me, when you, see, you cannot corner the market on the truth. Otherwise, look what happens to Christ over there. I don't know why that's funny. Try and think with me right now. Why did I laugh? That's something that's something an Aquarius moon would ask themselves. Why did that emotion pop up at that spontaneous time? See, the dream world, the place of Pisces, which is the spirit realm, it's very illusory. But we're talking about all of existence, the nature of reality, the truth that is hidden. First of all, what do these words mean? That's how hidden it is. It's like, well, when do we start even conveying anything? If we've just lost our asses, and we have. The strange thing is, kids, is how we get downloads and we start fitting keys and things start working for us. Some people, they just up and jump and say, you know what? I think I should do what I just dreamt about. Go to that blah blah over there and see if I run into, and it all happens for them, or whatever they have to do, get a certain book, right? Or they just wake up knowing. Just wanted to talk about the Piscean realm. We have Mercury going right into Pisces, and it's not going to stay in there for three weeks, and then there's going to be an epic Mercury in Aries. It's sleep time for the Aries and the organism itself, the human potential, the the one that has the 5 points and the 5 fingers and the 5 toes. They are in a trippy place, and I don't think anybody is handling it the same. See, some people are very fearful of the realm of, I was going to say, creators, but say like the mystics, um, metaphysical people, mystical people, um, artists, dancers. Not always Pisces. It depends on what the genre. It's medium work, kind of. A lot of healers would be Piscean, and clairvoyance and psychics. It rules all that paranormal kind of strange stuff too, for sure. I mean, it's very illusory in what it rules, to tell you the truth, because it's the ocean we don't know about, and it just happens to be mainly here. It's like, so it's the main thing here, but we don't know anything about it? Yeah, okay. That's Neptune for us, in a little drop, right? A little tiny drop, a steam drop. All of existence is inside of it, that's the fractal of the whole joy. And it should be joy. See, I just got a little bit of joy doing my creation here. I like to be creative. I love maxing out a studio full of synthesizers and whatever keyboard and anything. Just put it there, and I will create a sound with it if it's recordable. I don't know, God, that is that kid stuff? I don't care. I'm here to have fun. Believe it or not, it has gotten too serious to the point of excruciation. Not that I'm not that I'm completely irresponsible, but I think that I've gotten away this far. Just not letting the world get to me so bad. Who's taking all that shit so seriously? Gone this far doing everything my way. I'm gonna keep doing it. And this is the thing, is like, as far as human relationships, relating, like partnership. Hey, ask anybody who I've worked for or with. They have a blast. Why? I actually worked. And then how about your partnership? One on one? Nothing but fun. That's all I aim for. Pardon me while we get through some kind of hell that has happened, that most likely happened. I mean, God. Are we through it? No. Pluto is going to hit 29 Capricorn in September or something like that, and then goes back in November into Aquarius for. Can you believe that? That is the sign of how torturous, not Pluto, babes, Capricorn. That's how torturous Capricorn. I know, I know. Well, any Libra, Aries prominence in the chart with a Cancer. That's what I do have, a little bit of Cancer and Saturn and Cancer. Knows that Capricorn, you're not going to get anywhere with Capricorn unless you have been tortured. And like, finally, you're conformed into what? It's always questionable with Saturn. And it's like, don't worry, we have Jupiter and Pluto to question Saturn. And it's like, no, all those together, they're going to make a lot of money. That's what happened in 2020s. Somebody. And you know what's scary is that entity that took a hold of a lot of the financing, and really there is a mastermind of a war machine that is ever encroaching, and it's if you haven't noticed, I mean, if you haven't been turned into it, something of it is underneath your roof by now. It's gotten to your doorstep. It's gotten very close, butted up against your building fencing out there, and it's not love, babe. It's definitely I probably talked about it here before, and God, have I talked about a lot of shit here. Um, but keeping up on the times and the frequency of the so-called human potential here, I'll call the organism that's here. That I know some people are coherent enough to carry on with this certain kind of conversation. It's like, well, is that the only conversation that you want to ever have, Shauna? No, we can try and go to some place and have some crummy fucking scrambled eggs somewhere, and I don't know why we would do that. I have chicken eggs out here, but anyway. Is there a place we can go where we're not bombarded with magnetic electrical frequencies? And the main thing is the the your favorite people, the narcissists, the ones that literally plug into your brains, man, because they are kind of geared that way and they might not even know it. They're playing well, you don't want to call it primitive, but it's a childish game of I win, you lose, period. And they say that's because that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. It's like, no. If you guys catch any kind of more detail, other than what you live as fear, warming over and over again, then you'll see that there's a lot of times life is complex and so are people, and give it some space and give it some love. That's what that is. If you ever want to know what love is, it's plenty of space. It's definitely the same kind of space as just freedom. You know that love is in the room when freedom is happening. Mercury and Saturn gone Cassini conjunct the sun right on my Jupiter at 10 degrees. They rounded up, they said 9 degrees, but when you look at it, it's at like 55 minutes, and well, they round it up and they say, well, it's 10 degrees, and then they look at the Sabian symbol meaning of it, and particularly for the 10 degrees Pisces is spiritual refreshments, spiritually refreshing or spiritual refreshment. That's what I have got going on with my Jupiter. It's a big fat spiritual refreshment. A lot of Piscean people, they're very compassionate and sensitive, so they end up being like bodybuilders and stuff. You wouldn't believe it. It's kind of strange. They're very beautiful people all around, in very many different versatile ways. But one of the things that the men will end up doing is and all the it's massive bodybuilder, but what there is underneath there is a jellyfish. I guess probably drinks a little bit too much. Anyway, God, thanks for listening to me. I shouldn't be doing any of this. Like I said, it's an auspicious time with that happening to me, and I'm gonna call this happy yawn, happy yawning time. It's time for a massive yawn, and yawns are very spiritual. If you've ever eaten a lot of mushrooms, you'll know. You have to get a certain amount of whatever it is we're breathing, inhaling here. I actually do not feel very well. I'm going through something that is. I think I'm losing my battle here. And Christ, did that happen to you? Yeah. The thing you got to do though is you fight the right fights. You and you win, and you fight the right battles. Is that me talking or is that Christ? Yeah, that's why I figure. There's only so much time here, and what's not worth a damn about the time we spend here, is to conform to something that doesn't really make you feel good. That's hey, none of my business. It's really none of anybody's business. Really, that's like a religion. Well, what is your feel good? Well, I would be deeply concerned about people that think that every single body is different about their feel good. It's like, no, there's a generalization that you must be able to do, or I don't want to be around it. There should be a fence. So if you don't understand that we need clean water, stuff like that, even clean entertainment, like say, is there a right and way right? Is there a right and a wrong way to do this? Yes or no? No? Oh, well, more fencing, more quarantine. I don't know. I mean, what? Really, really? Come on, baby. If you were to be a waitress or something or whatever you're doing, babes, are you pouring a glass of water for somebody and you don't put the cup on its upright end and get it in the cup without spilling it? There's a right and wrong way to do it. I don't really buy what some of the philosophies come up. I don't know where it's coming from. This is no, there's no right and wrong way to do anything. There is no supposed to. I was like, phew, I would hate to taste to eat your soft boiled egg or whatever that needs to be in the Goldilocks zone. You mean there's no right way to play Stairway to Heaven? Well, fucking get out of here, then, would you please? I spent a little time on it, and there definitely is this right way where people are going, oh my God, it's like, fuck that song. Did you know that song right there. It's just one lick out of a bluegrass. It should only last like 0.0 seconds or so. Sorry. I'm getting arrogance on top. It's just bad. Because there's something else happening in my life, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to really be as happy as I should be. Should we be happy? If something actually good, really good happens for us, which means that maybe we can just um, move on, if we can move on away from the stuck feeling that we have or we sometimes get, is it better? See, I'm contemplating on selling my whole place here. And the truth is, this is my spiritual anchor here. Now, I mean, it's my shrine. It's my shrine. I don't think it's my anchor, right? I mean, really, I was just about to say, really? Am I going to spend the rest of my life trying to teach about, um, or trying to get this breakthrough of what's my spiritual anchor? Anybody who took the vaccine is like, what's spiritual? These people are just, they're fine. None of us are perfect. There's a possibility we can all be healed. We could all be healed by what? Well, isn't there a spirit realm, an angelic realm? Yes, that's where Pisces comes in again. It's very, very, even though it's mystical and it's even taboo and mysterious, it can be known. It can be known. It's just like water, it's like, gosh, it's so mysterious and trippy. I think that the world and the populace is in a state of emergency, but it's completely ignored. But if we really knew, see what I mean is, if we really knew, there would be drastic measures and say like camps made to shield ourselves from whatever the satellites are doing up there with the EMF waves, babes. They're doing it. Man, they seem to just love to fucking guzzle down chemicals and what else? Their entertainment that they fucking insist on doing, which is what? It's just a big fucking circus, right? Talk about it. This is the theory. There's two types of people here on the planet, and so the split or separation, really what I'm talking about and visualizing is like, well, where do we go away from the others that are, like I said, and we're not all innocent in this, but if we can start making as much adjustments as possible and start feeling better. I say it's just to get away from the gaslighting populace. Once we get away from all of these things, it gaslights our entire chances of knowing reality and the truth. Our nervous systems will heal up. A lot of diseases are getting in through being tattered, battered down by this. I'm not kidding. That's like a big, of course.